They'd already noticed his absence and had stopped. A white beam darted about the tunnel. When it fell on him, Artyom raised his hands just in case and screamed, "It's me, don't shoot!" The flashlight went out. Artyom hurried forward, expecting a dressing down now. But when he reached the others, Melnik only asked quietly, "Didn't you hear anything just now?" Artyom nodded. He didn't want to talk about what he had just seen. He thought it might just have been his imagination. He knew that he had to treat his impressions carefully in the metro. What was it? It had looked like a train racing by, but it couldn't have been. There hadn't been enough electricity in the metro to move the trains for dozens of years. The second possibility was even more improbable. Artyom recalled the warnings of the savages regarding the holy passages of the Great Worm. "So the trains don't run anymore, right?" he asked the stalker. Melnik looked at him with displeasure. "What trains? Once they stopped running, they never moved again until they were ransacked for parts. Do you know something about these sounds? I think it's subterranean water. There's a river quite near here. We passed beneath it. Screw it. There are more important problems. We still don't know how to get out of here." Artyom didn't want to let the stalker think that he was dealing with a madman, so he remained silent and let the subject drop. It was probably the river. The unpleasant sounds of flowing water and the babble of thin, black, tiny brooks along the edges of the rails had disturbed the somber hush of the tunnel here. The walls and arches gleamed with moisture, a whitish film of mold covered them, and here and there were puddles. Artyom had become used to fearing water in the tunnels, and this line made him particularly uncomfortable. His stepfather had told him about flooded tunnels and stations. Luckily they lay deep or were located far away so that a disaster was unlikely to spread to a whole branch. The further they moved, the drier it became around them. The tiny brooks gradually disappeared, the mold on the walls was found more rarely, and the air became lighter. The tunnel went down, leaving everything empty. For the umpteenth time, Artyom recalled Bourbon saying that an empty line was most terrifying of all. The others, it seemed, also understood this, and often looked back at Artyom stumbling along last, but having looked him in the eyes, they hastily turned back around. They walked straight ahead the whole time, not lingering at the grates cut away from the side branches and the thick cast-iron doors with locks that could be seen in the walls. Only now was it becoming clear to Artyom just how great were the dimensions of the labyrinth that had been dug into the earth beneath the city by dozens of generations of its inhabitants. The metro consisted of numerous passages and corridors spreading into the depths of a gigantic cobweb.